I suppose the best way to start this is by saying that is an awful joke, Hayden, but fair enough, man. Fair enough. Everything should be up and running as intended. Hopefully when we switch over there's no real lag issues. I was kind of having those during the testing thing, so let's hope this works out relatively fine. What's good? What's happening? Everything should be running and smooth. 60 frames per second. Now, what's happening? It's game day. We need to win this one. Straightforward and simple. There's some pretty interesting things to play out today. Obviously, we'll be keeping tabs on some other games that have gone on. There's been some pretty interesting games that have played out across Britain today already. For those that haven't seen, Arsenal fucked it to Bournemouth. That was interesting, I have to say, so, you know, you have to give them credit in that sense. They tend to make their own issues. But we're not focused on the English today, we're focused on the Scottish game, because, my goodness, there is a pretty good double-header if you think about it. Obviously, Hearts taking on Motherwell. Motherwell might be out of form now, let's be fully honest and say it as it is. They've been actually quite shite over the last few match days, but they can cause problems, and Hearts have caused their own downfall over the last few match days with some pretty needless drop points. Last match day was a prime example of that, but today Celtic are against St Mirren. It's pretty much a nice little tee-up match for the Cup semi-final that's due in a few days as well, so we can appreciate the kind of test match, I suppose. It's just a case of what version of St Mirren you get, and more importantly what version of Celtic you get, because it depends, right? Like, we've had some pretty good performances against St Mirren this season. They've been very close 1-0 scrappy wins here and there, but obviously we know that the major talking point was obviously that cup final, so we kind of need to keep ourselves very aware that they can cause problems. St Mirren, despite being in the relegation zone, they are a pretty decent side, and you know, the last game before the split, they want to try and give themselves that little bit of an extra boost with those 3 points, because it would give them a, you know, basically a 4-point swing, I believe, over the team just below them. So they would probably want to capitalise where they can. I'm going to just pull up everything that I need to pull up here, so do bear with me while I do so. Nice to see you all, nice to see you, Rad, nice to see you as well. Odd as always, my guy. Likewise with you, David. North and South coming together. Nice to see you as well, Chief. Nice to see you. Let me just pull up the things here. There we go. That should do it. And you should be on the right one. You are fantastic. Well, there you go. There's the lineup there for those that haven't seen it. Of course, the big news, we've got Arm back. That's nice. He's on the bench. We might not see him feature unless it's desperately needed. Again, we have players like McCowan that can come on and do the job just as well and just as easy. But for now, we've got what we pretty much would have expected for this lineup. Obviously, Araujo is out for the remainder of the season. He basically did a Johnston, aggravated his injury while training, so he's not going to be with us come the end of the season unless we decide to buy him from that loan. So it's a bit of a shame to see a Mexican man leaving that way with more of a whimper than a bang, but my God, was he class. So instead it's Ralston. There's no Donovan for this one. It's Ralston that makes the most sense. Got a physical body there. You're going to probably need that with two big physical boys, and St Mirren's strikers and Mandron and Ayunga, because let's be honest, they're going to really abuse the set piece routine as much as possible, because that's where Celtic are weakest, and it's also where St Mirren tend to be pretty good. They like to get the ball into the box. That's probably why they'll have O'Hara and John try to overlap and get crosses in where it's necessary. But again, we've got a pretty well set, you know, team. I don't think it's a bad side. I think the only thing I could really say is that maybe it should have been McCowan ahead of Oxlade-Chamberlain, and you could have made the case, because of Viniacho's feature off the bench, that he maybe should have started this one ahead of Fanchara because of the amount of, let's put it nicely, sitters that Fanchara missed in his last match. So again, lineup is about what you would expect. Sinisalo in between the stick, Scales and Trusty as our main centre-back pairing, with Tierney and Ralston, our Scottish boys playing either side on the full-back positions, with McGregor and Oxlade-Chamberlain holding the anchors in the midfield, with Negrin being pushed slightly further forward. He has been our main man by a landslide this season. He's starting in the central attacking midfield role with Maeda and Yang starting either side. I would have probably expected, again, maybe Tenekte to come in for this one and play Yang on the right hand side, give Maeda a bit of a breather, or again you could have pushed Maeda up as a striker and started Tenekte out left. But again, with the physical game that St Mirren will try to play, you would imagine chances are we'll probably need every physical body we can. So Yang's not bad. He likes to take his men on. That's decent enough. And Maeda's got the pace to get him behind his full-back or centre-back, whatever one's going to be stepping out to mark him, depending on where he is on the pitch at the time. But again, Fanchara's going to be the main one to watch today, because his confidence is a bit lacking, to put it nicely. So it'll be will be one of those ones. You know, I hope it is a fucking good game. We really need a striker's performance for him to put it minimally. You can see a 5-0 game. It's all going to click into place. I would agree with that in most senses, in the sense that I think this might be a clean sheet type of game. It would just, again, depend on what St Mirren do from set pieces. They are a very kind of pragmatic and physical side. They like to get the ball forward, but they can't most of the time because they're usually under the cosh. They're usually pressed under the ball more than they would like to be most of the time. That has been their issue this season. It's what's cost them a lot of points, and more importantly, late points as well. So again, Celtic thrive in the last 10 minutes. St Mirren tend to kind of fizzle out in the last 10 minutes. So you feel like if the game's even going into that, there's still that chance. But Celtic won't want to leave it to fate. We won't want to put it down to an 80+ minute winner, because that's, you know, not good for the heart. We'd rather avoid that if everything is possible. Let's be fully fucking honest. We'd rather run this game, but I think reasonably 2-0 is kind of about fair, to be honest, based on the last few games that we've played. Because again, with the exception of the cup final, which was under Nancy, the other games have been 1-0 scrappy type of wins. So, you know, it'll come down to basics, and hopefully we do the basics right. It's fundamental football today, to be fully honest, right? Any big mistake that we make at the back, St Mirren will probably capitalise on, so minimise those. Trusting skills will just have to be a bit more trustworthy with the ball at their feet, and if they aren't, it's going to be a bit of a hard one. Ralston's an interesting one, because again, I like the fact that he started. I know that most people would have probably picked Donovan or pretty much anyone else, but Ralston's, I think he's solid here, because again, you've got Yang who can drop in and cover the space a little bit better. You've got McGregor playing more close to him, so having that extra anchor is always nice. I think that makes sense for this team, and I can't argue with the left hand side, right? Scales, Tierney and Maeda, that's going to be the kind of main passing route, especially get crosses into the box. But the boys are heading out the tunnel now. We should be on the way relatively soon. I'm just going to pull up all the other things that we need to, so I can see the chat on the side here as well, because again, performance mode with us makes it a little bit hard to read things in real time, and I don't want to miss anything that's important, especially if there's some other things going on. Because another thing that we will be keeping an eye on is this. We'll be keeping an eye on basically all the other games that are going on, because Kelly and Dundee is a massive match at the foot of the table. Aberdeen and Hibs, maybe not as crucial for a lot of reasons, but Aberdeen will probably want to win that one. But obviously the main one will be Hearts and Motherwell. We'll be keeping my tabs on that, just to make sure if the Tynecastle side slip up, we are there to witness it in real time. So hopefully a half decent performance from all the teams that need to have decent performances today, and it would be nice obviously if we could have a favour, a massive favour done for Motherwell today. All we can do is hope. So let's read out the lineups while that is going on. For St Mirren, it makes sense to start with him. It's Shamal Georgia between the sticks, a man who has caused us a few problems, but has for the most part been pretty lacklustre this season. But Gogic has been a pretty interesting one to watch for St Mirren. Very good player. Donnelly and Freckleton starting either side. Declan John and O'Hara, as aforementioned, will be the ones that try and bomb forward to get crosses in, but will also act as their main fallbacks to kind of keep Yang and Maeda quiet on the wings. But it's Campbell, Devaney and Phillips that will be playing in the midfield three, with Ayunga and Mandron, as aforementioned as well, the two physical boys playing up front. They'll be playing off of the set pieces, as you would imagine. For Celtic, for those that are just coming in, nice to see you all, by the way. Nice to see you, Pedro. Nice to see you all, Davey, as well. Sinisalo is in between the sticks at Scales, and Trusty as our full-backs. Ralston and Tierney start. Ralston and fucking Tierney are our full-backs, I should say, and Trusty and Scales are our centre-back. Perry McGregor and Oxley Chamberlain are our two holding midfielders, with Negrin playing as a kind of central anchor midfielder, but think of him more as a advanced forward. He'll be playing almost like a second striker and behind Van Chara, and of course Maeda and Yang starting either side. We need a good performance. That's the minimum we could fucking ask for. If we get that, we should be good. But again, football is weird. This season has been weird. Everything about this season has sucked for the most part, but again, whenever we've needed to just do what's necessary, we're alright. It seems like whenever we haven't been put under pressure, we tend to do fucking better for whatever reason. So that will be pretty interesting to see. At least, I mean, I can fucking have hope, right? Oh, come on, boys, nothing silly today. As long as we don't do anything stupid, we should be good. But again, Celtic Park hasn't exactly been a fortress per se. I think that's probably the nicest way to say it, man. We've had some pretty weird performances. I mean, the last loss was against Hibs, I believe, but we should probably try and dig in where we can. Swanchara's already trying to hustle it, which is nice to see, but Gogic pops it in behind. There's already a steal attempt. Yang tries to win the bounce out, but doesn't necessarily get it. Freckleton sends it forward, and I think there might be an early offside shout here for John, and it is, yep. Calm enough. Celtic are playing in the kind of classic home kit, the green and white hoops. St Mirren going with a bit more of a regal purple colour for those that are aware of their away kit. It's actually quite nice, to be fair, I can't argue with it. Nice to see you, Chateau. He's the nice one, you don't need to worry too much. I think Maeda tried to step in there. He got his body to it, which is nice to see. He's stepping out very nicely there, but it does go through throw-in for the buddies. Again, I'm not too worried about what they do from open play, because even in the few games that we've seen against them this season, it hasn't necessarily been their strength. The main thing for me is what they do from set pieces. That's a bit of a silly collision there. I'm not sure if it's a foul or a throw-in, but the referee just says collision of bodies, throw-in Celtic. You feel like this game's going to have a bit more of a physical bite to it than you would expect, right? Like, again, St Mirren, very pragmatic side. Players like Gogic, Freckleton, especially at the back, they'll like to put their bodies on the line, get in front of blocks and challenges. That's a good ball in behind though for Celtic, and there could be a really early chance. That's a great touch. Early! Oh, it's a big fucking miss. There's claims for handball though. Major claims for handball already. And already there's a check. I'm not too sure what's happening. Let's have a clearer look at this. The ball in behind was really nice. Again, Celtic did the right thing. Was he onside? He definitely looks on. He's just in line with Gogic. Swanchara. And I think it's a case of, does it come off the hand of a St Mirren player? No, I wouldn't really say it does, to be honest with you. It kind of hits the back end of his arse, so can't say too much else besides that. Fair enough. That would have been a very good start to the game though, and it was a lovely ball into the box. So, like I've said, most of the attacks will funnel down that left hand side today. We'll want to try and expose that space with the pace that we do have on that side. Yang's probably the more physical aspect, so when things get a bit more rough and ragged and we need someone to try and drive at them, we'll go down that right hand side, use Ralston and Yang. But when we need that quick burn up, that's exactly what we'll try to do. In case in point, switch forward to Yang. He cuts inside, uses his strength, gets across. Lovely little pass, and again switched very quickly to the left. Early cross in is not too bad, but it's overhit by Tierney, and we'll just fizzle out on that far side unless Yang gets there and chases back. Good fucking hustle, wee man. Bodies his man up again. Very nice pass. Celtic are moving it quick and with purpose. Dances into the box. He's getting bodied quite well though. But does well to win it back, goes down. Referee doesn't say foul. That's a bit of an interesting one, considering the fact it was a pretty obvious push. Maybe he kind of stepped through and won the ball in the middle there. I honestly wouldn't have been able to see that. Doesn't seem like it though, so fair enough. Little dance forward for Trusty, lovely. Calm little roll out towards Yang. He seems to be getting involved a lot in the early stages. Ralston gets the cut back, played towards McGregor. Good pass from the skipper. And this is what Maeda does well. Drives, gets it into the box. Not too bad. Takes a deflection. Good little bit of hustle in there for Maeda to funnel it out. Takes a bounce off the corner flag and actually stays in play. So Maeda has to pick the quick pass. It's fired back in by Celtic. Again, just kind of desperately cleared for St Mirren, but Celtic still retain the edge of the area. McGregor, fair range, blocked. Celtic are going for blood early on here. It's another block for St Mirren, and again cleared out. Celtic will just retain it. Ralston gets it from pretty much the right wing position, cuts it back to Trusty. A bit of a loose touch, but recovers well enough. The American can't fault it as long as he doesn't lose it. Wasn't the cleanest looking touch there, to be honest. Good little switch across towards Scales, and again fired very quickly up that left hand side. Nice little taken touch by Maeda. We're playing with a lot more bite and movement, which is really nice to see. Scales, nice little run, cut across. Are you fucking kidding me, Mother Nature? Piss after now, Chief. Again, very quick movement. That's good for Ralston. Gets out towards that far side again. Nice, lovely. Bounces out. For fuck's sake, it's awkward. McGregor retains it. St Mirren are getting a bit desperate early stages here. 5 minutes in, and it's 6s and 7s at the back here. Lovely little taking touch for Tierney, rolls it back. McGregor on the far side, cut inside for Oxley. Chamberlain. Lovely switch out far side for Yang, cut back. Ralston's just kind of anchoring it with Negrin there and a lot of options in space. McGregor goes for age, spilled, shot, spilled into the... I'm not sure if he's onside or not. Is he onside, Oxlade? I think he's off actually. Flag's gone up quickly as fuck there, so he's probably off. He is. It's unfortunate as fuck. I thought we scored there. He timed his run just a bit late from the shot. Yeah, he is just aye. A little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Of course, our fucking the one goal that we score for immediately, it's you know, disallowed. A little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Very positive start for us though. I can't fault the fucking hustle. We're chasing every loose ball. Nobody seems to be out of place. Some good passing and movement. The shot for McGregor was not bad at all, by the way. It was really well struck. It was a good save for George. But he just didn't really palm it back into the right area. But thankfully, and probably luckily for St Mirren, it just wasn't well timed by Oxlade-Chamberlain. So unlucky, but it is what it is. For now though, Scales cuts it back. Sinisalo pretty much about 20 yards outside his box. That'll be an interesting one if we lose it high up. Calmly dealt with though by Ralston. Do not fault that in the slightest. Trusty goes for the long switch. That is a fantastic arc run if his touch is good. Lovely taking touch for Tierney. Cut back across. It was the right idea, just slightly overrun by the men in the middle, which is a bit unfortunate. But again, the movement is so well done there. It's just so unlucky with that little cut back. Just slightly overrun there by Svanchara. Brilliant hustle though. Still have it in the final third. Still very dangerous. Nice little move. Got inside, not necessarily too dangerous of a situation for St Mirren, but Celtic are trying to retain it. That's a bit of a weird giveaway and a poor place to give it because it's just opened up the fucking floodgates for St Mirren to potentially dart forward. Lovely ball into space if they can get a shot away, but that's a nice little step in the nick of time, and I think Scales got the last touch on it as well, so it will be a corner kick for St Mirren. Case in point, they'll break forward when they can and try and win any type of set pieces. Scales had to take the touch there. There was no real other option. So first real chance of the game for this side for Paisley. Again, they've got some very physical boys, strikers in particular, Younger, Mandro, and a few boys at the back. They've got some height and more importantly some physicality, and Gogic, Freckleham. Even say that Davani boy in the midfield's got a bit of height to him if he wants to use it. Well, not necessarily height per se, but a good presence of him. Ball switched into the box. It's actually very poor in the end. St Mirren will just kind of get it back towards the defensive area where they can. Sent forward by John. It's always weird when a guy has a second name that's like a first, you know. John. One of the Celtic games is on your birthday. No? It's always a nice surprise whenever that happens. 3 points needed and you're happy with the Arsenal result today. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier on, man. It was a bit of a surprise to see Bournemouth do it, but their goals were lovely. The goal for Alex Scott in particular was absolutely world class. Like a team goal, I would say. The ball through him was lovely. So Mirren are trying to amp up the pressure. Got to say, it's the first time that the cameras had to pan this way and stay there. But Celtic very set in their shape, not really trying to give St Mirren many options, and it's just forcing them to go back every time they get into the final third. Back all the way to their goalkeeper this time. It's a bit of an awkward one. Nice little taking touch for Freckleham, and to be fair, nice ball out as well, and they're going to try and shift it forward. Celtic have... Oh, it's an awkward touch actually. Ralston doesn't necessarily deal with it, and it's allowed St Mirren to get a run off if they can get the shot away. They do, but it's through the legs of a defender, and more importantly way away from the goal, thankfully for us, but it technically would count as a shot for them. The first real chance of the game, you would say, in terms of shot creation. Not the worst attempt in the world, but I think you can tell by his reaction, the shoulders sagged as if it was a little bit, fuck, could have done better there. It's nice to see you up and up. I'm not sure how have you been keeping it. Hopefully the weather's treating you well over there, man. That's a lovely ball again. Oh, good steal, actually brilliant time step in there. Give St Mirren their credit, they're trying. Switch across, nice, can't. Phillips tries to step out with him, that's a long move, you've got to hustle that a bit quicker. Nice, that's a bit better, boys, fucking lovely stuff. Scales, cut in, Maeda. Christ above that, as soon as I give them a compliment for their quick one-touch pass, and Maeda does that shit. Tierney does retain it, but he has to go all the way back to Sinisalo to make sure that we can kind of keep the ball calmly. towards Ralston. Not the worst first touch in the world, actually. It baits his man in quite well. It's about what Celtic do with it when it gets into space. Rolled back by Svanchara and more importantly overhit, so Ralston will have to trundle his way back. How have your week's been in general, chap? Hope you've all been well. I got some messages and stuff with Flash before the game. He's hopefully enjoying himself over there. It's nice to have the Green Brigade back, man. That's like the main fucking thing, right? It's a shame I can't really hear it because I have to mute things for obvious reasons. Oh, it's an awkward one. It could have been really good for us as well. St Mirren are put under pressure here. They're really putting themselves under pressure here. It's a good fucking bit of hustling from us, but again, St Mirren are dealing with it well enough, so that's not going to be a foul. Ref, that's a bit soft, mate. I'd say the foul beforehand was more a foul than that one, but St Mirren get it. Was there a wee shot pull or something? Probably. Oof, big step. It was the step in though. Fair enough. Can't argue with that. St Mirren try to send it forward. Trusty. That's got to be awkward, mate. Your pass back's going to have to be convincing, and it is. Well fucking done. Calm enough. Sinisalo retains. Wait for his defensive counterpart to get on his feet, but in the meantime, Scales gets it. Tierney back to the Irishman. Can't say I've been too disappointed with the way we started this game. Everyone's doing what they need to do. Didi was in all guns blazing. It's what the man lives for. Oh, come on. Keep the press, keep the press. Oh, it's in fairness. The Vanny's done a very good job there, kind of keeping his composure, because if he'd lost the ball there, it was pretty much a 3v2 break for Celtic, but retains it well enough for now. Freckleton tries to shift. Gogic gets it from his goalkeeper. He'll probably try and just find any option that's open and available. Does find Phillips in the end. Again, Celtic keeping the press open. Yang's pretty much pushed into that central position now. Svanchara's dropped in a bit deeper, and again the hold-up plays nice. It's a good interception there, but again just rolls in St Mirren's favour. They'll try and run forward with it themselves. Ball popped in behind. Nice little take in touch, cut back. They'll be trying to find any open option they can, but again Celtic quite set in their shape here. Nice little switch. Looking for any quick option in behind, which would be interesting. Cut back, nice take in touch. Celtic again just doing what they kind of set the shape. They might just go for range here. They do, and Sinisalo's down and over it comfortably. It wasn't a bad effort for Freckleton. I mean, it's nice to see a centre back try for range. It was on target, but very under hit. Let's say Sinisalo could have probably fell asleep and caught that ball. Fell on it convincingly enough. Oh, that's going to be a foul. Yep. Goalie's just getting a bit too physical there in the midfield. Maybe we can do something with it, swing it in, cause some problems. It would be nice. He is a good Celtic man. Tried and fucking through. Anyone that comes into a Celtic fan chat is considered a good Celtic man. I would say. Unless they're in here I obviously hate, in which case fair enough, you know, people do that anyway. But actually I realised I probably should do this. Just give me a moment. Because I need to refresh this to see what's happening. If you want a little update on the scores, there we go. There's your little gander. Kelly have opened the scoring. They are the first one to score in this match day. It's gone their way. They're 1-0 up against Dundee, but no other goals as of yet. All square and every other one as it stands. Pretty good. When you're on his good side, exactly. Just be on his happy terms. That's a nice little ball actually. That's a good overrun. Negrin's all of a sudden switched positions with Yang, it seems. Good feet. Lovely whip across. Tierney. got back. That's a good shot. Takes a deflection. Big spillage. Surely chance. It's 1-0 Celtic. Let's fucking go. It's Oxlade-Chamberlain, I believe it is. What a fucking... I mean, I wouldn't say it's the world's best finish, but it's a lovely team move to get into that position. Starts with Nygren. Again, keep in mind the man's a central midfielder. Starting on the right-hand side of the wing, on the far side, cuts across. Lovely ball. Tierney tries to do the right thing. Like, lovely little cut back. It's a good half-attempted shot, but... Can't really say it was the best attempt in the world for McGregor, but it takes the fortunate bobble in the way of Chamberlain, and he does very well to redeem himself for that little offside run. Technically, he could have scored twice a day, but we'll take the fucking one. Celtic have the lead. We're 1-0 to the good. Come on to fit, boys. Kick on for here. That is the start we needed. We didn't want it to drag on to the 50th, 60th, 70th minute. Perfect. Lovely stuff. So Mirren are going to have to come out of their shell if they want something for this game, and more importantly, that will burn their energy. It's only good for us. Perfect start from our sense. If we just get another one, then it will quell the nerves massively. Although the referee's more interested in a foul. Come on, Nicholson, that's fucking soft. Oh, look at that, similar right. Ah, here we go with the time wasting. It's begun already, man. As soon as we scored, they're on the ground for like 10 minutes. He didn't even get touched that badly, Phillips, mate. Come on. I'd get it if it came in for your back, because like it would, you know, maybe a tailbone type shit where it just hurts like a motherfucker. But that's dead leg, maybe? I'm going to guess dead leg. Go again, could not have put it better myself. Happy enough with that. Literally right as we were checking all the other scores, let's see if there's any other updates to the other games. Nope. Not that we mind that, and obviously Falkirk and Rangers play tomorrow, that's why I'm not too prioritising showing you that one, because, you know, it's not actually ongoing right now. But the pressure will be on them, obviously, if Hearts do what they need to do here and Celtic can carry on in the same vein. We have started this game very well. Cannot complain about it in the slightest. Jesus Christ, man. And they say men can't multitask, Gaiden. Solid stuff, man. Come on. They're still tending him. I don't honestly know what happened. We're showing the Chamberlain goal back, which again was very lovely and very well taken. Cannot complain about it in the slightest. It was lovely. Right into that far corner away for Shamar George. Oh, I thought it was Phil's that went down. Not bad, it was not him. He is on his feet now and moving, which is nice, I guess. I think it was a dead leg, to be honest. You can tell by the way he's trying to run it off. I was going to say, it wasn't in his side of his back or anything, so... Just a kind of muscle melter, we'll call that. Nice ball into the box for Mirren. They're going to try and overshoot it though. They hold it up on the edge. It's going to have to be a quick cross if they're going to go for any type of cross at all, because Celtic have got bodies out there quickly. This is why I'm saying if they go down that right hand side it's going to be awkward for them, because you have to deal with the physicality of Ralston and the tracking back ability of Young. Mandron did try and get in the end of it, but didn't necessarily walk out though. It's not as even out, it's particularly windy, man. You're just ripping that pass. Christ. Ooh. Could be awkward. More camera angle than anything there. Keeper just waits for it to come in his box and claims it coming off. Tries to spread the play. Young steps out to try and cover it, but it's played out. John tries to dance forward. Nice little take and touch there. It's not... Yeah, good. No, don't mind that referee. I thought he was going to buy that, buy the flop act. Was not buying it. Fair enough, Nicholson. It's played forward instead. Sanchara has now dropped into the right wing position. It seems whenever we start some random motherfucker out on that right hand side, it works out for us. Let's see if it works again. Played back to Ralston. Nice little 1-2 touch between him and Nygren. Benji's just kind of quietly doing his thing. Not really spending too much time in the ball, he's just more or less a layoff. Merchant gets on it. It's trying itself, man. I'm used to it during winter, but not so much now. It's not as if it's too windy. It's only like fucking, what, 16, 17 mile an hour. Nice, calm off Ralston if that's still in play anyway. Young does his best to get in the way of it, gets on the touch of the redirect as well, but Mirren try and get on the end of it, takes a bounce, McGregor does well. And Celtic retain it, but in that kind of awkward area where they're going to have to try and clear it out where they can, that's exactly what a centre back tries to do, put under pressure. Gogic kind of karate kicks it the fuck out. I love that, to be fair, without doubt. Celtic do retain it though. Ball sent forward to Maeda. His touch is less than desirable, to put it nicely, and played back towards George. Until we've toned down the energy just a wee bit, which is a shame. You think when we score you want to kind of, you know, dial it up a little bit, go for blood essentially, but seems like we're just taking a wee bit of a breather, which is fine as long as we don't allow it to bite us in the arse, let's say, because especially with the way St Mirren tend to be, they again like to break forward. That's a good steal from us. Again, St Mirren try to do that whole thing with the flop. I don't like that. They're a very physical side, so it's weird seeing, you know, 6 foot dudes that are built like that just flop. God damn. I mean, McGregor was the one that was getting clipped as well for the most part. He's played him behind very quickly. Here we go, chance. Maeda, ball, box. That's not the worst pass in the world. Again, just well placed defending from St Mirren. Solid stuff, man. Ralston cuts it forward. Yang. Good physic. I'm liking Yang. He's having a really good game. Ball over the top. If Maeda can get behind it, and it was well dealt with defensively, but they're putting themselves under pressure again. Nygren keeps the chase alive. Yang's immediately on to put the pressure, and it's sent forward, and Celtic retain it off a nice little touch in for the chest for Trusty. Calm all round there. Lovely stuff. Oh, it's lovely to see you, Megan. Hope you're well, lass. Likewise with you, Tommy, big man. I'm presuming you're going to come in and be like, Liverpool play Fulham later on. I'm very much aware. What were you thinking of the Arsenal game earlier on? Pretty interesting. It's been a while, actually, to be fair. Nice to see you, lass. Hope you're in good health. Sent forward. I was going to say, could have just let that go, and the referee does play advantage and eventually holds it up anyway, so probably could just dial it back. I think it just clipped him. I don't think it was intentional for the St Mirren man, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not cynical. He tries to come in and Yang's just clever with the touch. Definite foul, but I would say it'd be a bit harsh to give that card. Referee's right with that one. We try and play it behind. That could be really good depending on the pass. It's well fucking defended again for St Mirren. I'll tell you what, man, their defending at the back has been very good at times. I know they've been under the cosh for the better part of this match, but some really good well-timed challenges. He gets that wrong. Yang's going down, penalty kick every day of the week. Oof. Lovely stuff indeed it is, jockey. Nice to see, man. What? What do you mean, Tommy? I don't really know what to say to that, my guy. Did your wife deserve it? I don't know. No, I'm going to say you're not in a great mood, but I hope everything's good, my guy, seriously. Aberdeen scored. That's really good for them, actually. Considering the fact that obviously Dundee's just tripped up as well, but that means they need to win because Kelly's the closest. Genuinely. I mean, what does that do for the table, actually? So I can actually pull one of them up and check. Oh, Dundee United have also just scored against Livingston, so if you're goals all across the board besides the main one there. Let's just take a look at the table real quick. Oh yeah, no, to be fair, it makes it tight. Aberdeen's 3 points. Make sure that they're not in that scrap with bin between St Mirren and Kilmarnock based on their goal difference. In fact, they would actually be just above them both, actually. They'll be taking that every day of the fucking week. I don't want to miss too much of what's happening here though, so we'll just quickly pull up the full schedule. I love how it like goes all the way up there. Oh, Dundee, actually saying that, the other Dundee has decided since the other United has scored, they're like, fuck that, we're the better Dundee. Have that, you prick. And they've just equalised against Kelly, so good for them, I suppose. Case in point, positions are always weird. How am I doing? Mixed, honestly. Personal stuff, in terms of mental health though, pretty okay. Oh, that is beautiful. Please, oh, fuck's sake, that would have been so nice if Nygren had figured that pass out. Did so well to retain it there. I don't know, to be honest, how to explain it. Hearts are still 0-0, you're very much spot on. Goals in every other game besides that one though. You've been an American. Oh, to be fair, American commentators piss me the fuck off, man. Did anyone see that, like, generation, or the top 26 players to watch at the World Cup? They were actually trying to, like, put half of the fucking US national team in it. Like, god damn, man. They really tried. They really tried. And they came out with the power rankings for the World Cup, and we're like, what was it, 35th? Like, we're below Saudi Arabia. Interesting times. We're actually below Sweden as well, which is weird considering the fact that, you know, they had 2 points in their qualifying group, but we moved. They don't know ball, man. They don't know ball. That's why I can't take EA Sports seriously. It's a Canadian company, right? Do you think whenever they make FIFA, they're doing it authentically? The only game they make good that's actually, sorry, authentic is hockey. Right, ask anyone that plays basketball games or... Oh, hold on, fucking hell, man. Some Mirren are making it awkward for themselves there. They escaped with their lives a little bit. Don't key information on how she is. How bad was the fucking cry? Did she get... Unless it was like egregious manslaughter, they should be allowed at least one phone call. That's literally legally a bit like... That's a law. Oh, big chance, run, cross, Maeda! And towards Fanch. Oh, it's a good save, man. The keeper threw his fucking body on the line. I think he's actually got injured because of that. If he has, do you know what? Fucking tip my hat to you, son, because not many goalkeepers would go into that knowing that they're going to get a big collision there. That gives me Craig Gordon vibes. He knew he was going to get clattered and did not give a shit. His priority was keep the ball out the net. But he's taken a bit of a sore one, and even Shanshara's reaction originally was to get up and be like, oh shit. It's one of those non-intentional collisions. Both of them had every right to go for it, but fair play to the Simmer and shot stopper. That's a boy I can respect. It's just showing the fucking ever-growing injury list of the boys sitting on the sidelines. Carter Vickers, Johnston, fucking Donovan Araujo, Jota, basically like half the first team. Nice to see it, man. Oh Christ. Didn't I feel bad for insulting the American commentators? I didn't realise it was a live stream you were talking about. I thought you were talking about, like, see, like the Fox or like the CBN or, you know, whatever the fuck commentators said. Nah, he's down for a minute. He's going to need some genuine treatment. Seems like he's taking us all on. But if you're talking about just a guy that's a shame. You never want to see anyone go through stuff like that, man. That's a sin. Well, how are you all doing anyway? I mean, hopefully there's some good news besides that, right? Apparently we've got someone's wife arrested. That's cool. Caden's enjoying his life and playing football and well, playing FIFA, I should say. So, you know, life's good for him. Love to see it. Motherwell's a hard challenge for us right now. They're unpredictable. I think that's the thing, right? I mean, you can say that for both sides, to be honest with you, Jockey, right? Like, getting Motherwell are a team that can surprise anyone in any given day. They've done it against all top 3 teams previously. They've beaten Rangers, beaten us, and beaten Hearts, so they're a capable side. They can rinse and repeat that in the split as well, so that's why I don't have that game as a set win or lose. And again, see what I found funny though, while we're actually on this little break, did anyone see the reaction of all the other fans when the split came out? Did like none of them realise how like fixtures work? They would have figured out very quickly that based on the way things work, there would have only been 3 potential home games in the last day. They weren't going to do Rangers at home on the last day for obvious reasons, right? War would have been committed in Glasgow if they even attempted to do that, because whoever won that day, the other team was not going to survive. So they weren't going to do that. It left a 50-50 split between home against Falkirk in the last day, home against Hearts. And it worked out better for Falkirk in the fixtures that they played us away from home first, so they get the advantage towards the we just got the luck of the draw, I guess. You know, I get people are pissed off at it, but when I was saying like it's rigged in their favour, of course the SFA is like, bro, they've done everything this season too. Jesus, the fuck are they talking about, man? We've been fucked over more times than most other clubs, right? Like, I get it, Rangers have had their fair share of shite, as of Hearts, but it's not as if they've not had their due in their own ways. Like, we knew it was a 50-50 shot against Falkirk at home in the last day or Hearts. That simple. And, it's fun. It's just real funny. Reese, can't fault in it. I'll keep that in mind going forward. It's just because I usually just take like the first part of someone's username and call them that. Or like an abbreviated version if it's like a weird name. Well, they've got a new keeper coming on. Mullen is on for George. It's a bit of a sin to see a goalkeeper go off that way, but he did a very major contribution for them right before his exit, blocking that chance for Sean Shannon. Nothing but respect for the boy in that sense. Your PS5 doesn't even work. Jesus Christ, man, you're not getting a lot of luck, are you? It's an old saying, isn't it? Bad things always tend to come in threes. Trust me, my guy, if it's of any note to you, I've not exactly had the best week or so either. I've had to find out a lot of really fucked up and funny shit, to be honest with you. Some stuff with my family and all that good jazz as well. Life has been pretty fast paced. Although I'm on a darts team now, which is nice. I play in a fucking Rangers pub. I find that so infuriatingly funny. But, yeah. Been trying to get myself back out and playing sports a bit more, so, yeah. Me and my mate are now on a darts team. He's the captain of it. Been practicing for the last few weeks. Flash actually joined us for a session. For those that are familiar, one of my moderators, Flash, he's on the stream every now and then. We do stuff IRL together every now and then as well. He was over and playing darts with the team when they were first practicing and stuff. Oh, that's a big slip for St Mirren. Hold on a fucking second. I can shut my ass up because there is a chance. Let's go, boys. Run it. Do not run it backwards though, please. Thank you. Oh, it's overhit for McGregor. God damn it, man. We could have done so much better with that. Bro. That was slightly frustrating given the overarching chance that we could have had that. No early calls. I don't see anything in the previous or deleted chats. Interesting. Nonetheless though, we will run it. I'm presuming it's either one of us have scored, so I'm going to like look away from chat for the next like 30 seconds because that's give or take how far we are behind. And it seems like, oh shit, yeah, okay, I think I know what's about to happen here. Takes a deflection on the outside. Okay, we're fine actually. Well, if I can score again, that would be nice. Oh wait, Mike? Fuck's sake, man, it's been a while since I've seen you, Chief. Hope you're well. Intriguing. We can't say anything's happened on my screen, I'll be honest with you. Not as of yet. Bear in mind, people do that just for the vibes. Skills will score. I will fucking love it if Skills scores. The dream case scenario, honestly, if I'm saying if there's anyone in the pitch that deserves a goal right now, just for their confidence, I'd say yeah, Scales or Maeda. Because Maeda's had a really good game. He's done really well to spill that big chance. Forrest has spilled and pulled out wide. I think it might have, I don't know if it was offside or the ball was out of play, but either way it's gone back. St Mirren's has gone for St Mirren, the call I should say. I mean, was it out? Yeah, it was out, never mind. Alright, well, I mean, we did well to keep it in play and cause an issue or so. I suppose while we're on a small break, let me just plug real quick. Hi, hello, what's happening? How's it going? Please consider subscribing, it's the best thing you can do to help the channel out. We're basically closing the run out to this season. We've got this cup semi-final and then the remainder of the split, so maximum about, what, after this you've got 7 games if we get to the cup final. So, not too many games until the end of this season. If we had a circle, that'd be nice, that'd be very cool, so please consider doing so. If you're already subscribed, fantastic, you're class, just consider leaving a like instead. Every time I try and speak about something that isn't this fucking game, we do something. Never mind, we go backwards. That's all, thank you. Nothing else required. Let's have a little look at games. Anything else in folding? Kilmarnock have added to their lead against Dundee. It's 2-1 over there, so there is a pretty classic game playing out in the relegation battle at Rugby Park right now. Aberdeen are still 1-0 up against Hibs, which is a bit of a surprise, but fair enough to them. Still all square between Hearts and Motherwell as well. Celtic are obviously 1-0 up against St Mirren. Probably should have had a second by now, but I mean, some good defending and some really good goalkeeping from St Mirren have kept them alive and well and truly in this game. And obviously the other match, as aforementioned, Dundee United are 1-0 up against Livingston. Don't think anyone's too surprised by that, given the form of the two teams. But there you go, there's your little rundown of things that are going on as of now. I can check other leaks and stuff at half time if anyone's got any fixtures that they are curious about. As a plan, you'll see. I mean, I'm confident we'll see victory today. That's why my prediction says 2-0, my guy. Like, I mean, St Mirren's a good side. I said this at the start of the stream, but I'll kind of run it back for those that missed it. St Mirren are a side that are good for set pieces. If they get set pieces and multitudes of them, they can be a threat. They expose the fuck out of that with Nancy's system, because that's basically what they do. Oh, hold on, is he onside? I don't know if he's onside, but for now we're playing on. Celtic at the edge of the area, Mirren from range, good shot, good save. In fairness, Mullins on it very quickly. I thought it would have been a bit more well hit. Keeper didn't really even have to dive in the end, they just kind of plucked it for the side. Well struck for Mirren, just maybe a bit a bit too well struck I should say. Kind of takes a lot of the sting out of the shot, just to kind of get the placement, so it kind of curls more in towards the goalkeeper than away from him. But case in point, Celtic have kept the foot down and, well, doing very solid in a lot of aspects, right? We've been the better side by a mile. It's hard to argue we don't deserve to be in the lead. But 1-0 leads are never safe. We know this. We know this all too fucking well. So we cannot, for all intents and purposes, go into the second half and then just take the foot off the brakes, because it'd be really stupid for us. We need that second goal. That's why I want the prediction. That's why I said 2-0. Usually I have it down as 2-1. That's a big chance across the face of the box. That's the third time, man. Lovely ball for one of the wingers or a fullback, and it's just not intercepted or read by any central figure. Mirren could have done a wee bit better there. Spanchara could have done a bit better there, but I'm not going to argue it too much. So I'm going to try to play it for the back. It is nice, good hustling for them, but Scales holds his man up, and I think he holds him up a bit too much. Gives him a bit of a love handle grab there and throws him to the ground. I wouldn't say throws him to the ground actually, in hindsight. It just kind of falls onto his knees like he's praying to God, fair enough. But I guess they kind of bought off a little bit. There's a shot pull, so by the laws of the game. To be fair, let's be honest, Mikey's the only reason the club has been awake for the last fucking few months. We were well and truly asleep for January, man. And it's not like a comfortable, like lying in a big comfy bed with a duvet. Like, no, this is like bleeding out sleep. He's came along with a big ass cot, like, into the side to like wake us the fuck up. Like, you're not bleeding out, mate. Get on my shoulder. I'll carry you across the fucking line. The man is a soldier. No other way to say it, man. He's taking a lot of fucking slack in the last few weeks because of the fact that, it's not as if he's been able to control a lot of the circumstances. Didn't get the investment that he was expecting in January. Even he was surprised by that. And obviously all the added injuries on top of it. The man has been working with less than what he came in with, and he's still doing a very solid job at least making sure we're in the fight. Which is better than what I was expecting, honestly, from when we sacked Nancy. We've had some pretty good moments under him. Getting our first win in Germany is massive, even though we got fucking dicked down at home. It's just been a very weird season where we've had some good moments, but it's been backed by a lot of really bad ones as well. Everyone watch for Scales, he's on fire. That's why his hair is red. The man is in smoking hot form in a lot of ways. He had that really good stint earlier in the season, probably towards like the end of like October, November, that stint. He was brilliant during that like month or two. I don't know what happened to him, man, but he became like a man possessed, not just for us, but even for the national team. I think he had like 2 assists as a centre back with that flick on against Hungary in the last minute. We've got a few minutes left in this match. We've been doing a pretty comfortable job so far. A second would be nice for the heart and for the soul and for everything else in between. Foul? Foul, yes. I don't mind that too much. Although my throat does a shit for no reason. I think some actual water is needed here. Better live. Splendid. Yeah, has to focus on the correct way kick his boot. To be fair, he's not been bad this game, Mike. He's been a bit more quiet than Maeda in terms of the balls into the box, that I will give you, but he's been hustling. He's been pretty physical, his battles with Fregelin on that far side. Even up against John as well, he's been doing a pretty decent just a very decent shift overall. That's an awkward one. Mirren don't really deal with it either. It's out for another corner kick. Oh, nice to see you, Stockton. Long time no chat indeed, my guy. Hope you're well. Hope you're in good health. How things been with you, brother? Well, let's run through the positives of this half real quick, shall we? 1. Green Brigade is back. 2. We scored a goal. Early. And number 3, Benjamin Mirren. He's quietly doing a lot of the off-the-ball movement, which is giving us chances. I think a lot of people have seen the rumours that we might be losing him over the course of the summer. There are some big-ass clubs that are interested. Teams from Italy, teams from down in England, and even 1 or 2 German teams as well are interested in his signature. Obviously not just for what he's done for Celtic, but he was a very key part in Sweden's run-in to qualify for the World Cup. Pretty key part of that, as was Lagerbielke, by the way. Still fucking pissed off we let him go to Braga. But I really hope Nygren stays, man, because he has been a world-class player for us this season. Imagine what happens if you surround him with players that actually give a shit. That funnel him chances. Oof. Doesn't necessarily give me Matt O'Reilly vibes, but he's more like a Chris Commons, if that makes sense. Or like a... almost like a Nakamura, actually. Decent on set pieces. Likes a long range pass. Good for range. Pretty privy when he's in the box. Although there's a chance for St Mirren. Fucking hell, that was awkward. What a second touch that was, Tierney. Christ above, man. I thought he let that get away from him, but he does well. Oof. Yeah, if he doesn't stick his leg out there, it's a clear shot for him. I think Mandron there. That was awkward, man. Getting ready for the greatest pole split in many years. I know. Jesus Christ, we were talking about it earlier on how a few of us, or a few other fans have been saying it's a conspiracy that we got parts on the last day. I had to break down to them why. Let's see, St Mirren have a... Well, they do win the contact there, but Celtic are the ones that get away with it. That's fucking hustling for Yang, does well. Keeps it. He manages to win a throw-in fight. I'm not bothered with that at all. Very solid shift. Because of that stoppage, we've got to go through 6 additional minutes, by the way, for those that are curious and don't have a way to confirm it. Good little switch forward though. There's your control, decent. Cut forward, here we go, big chance if we can get it running. So I'm talking about, there's Mirren on the right hand side again, he is everywhere at once. Brilliant dribbling, lovely control, gets it switched across. Ball in behind could be good as well. Maeda does well to cut it back, although he's probably just going to have to find Tierney again. Don't mind it. Okay, Mirren makes that move. Just quietly controlling it. Love to see it, man. Great football face though. Mirren lays it off again. Ralston cuts it back across for Watchalong. Oh, forehand to Watchalong. I mixed the two words up there. That's incredible. Forwards. That's a new word. Add it to the dictionary. Played in behind. Nice little touch for McGregor. How's your pass? Calm enough. Celtic are just moving it quickly and with not necessarily purpose, but with precision, which is nice. Scales, nice. Calm enough. McGregor, Tierney, trust to get the defence going. Well, to be fair, they've all been very, very solid for the most part. The only complaint is the same that you can usually say for us. It's just we're not really taking the chances that do look pretty easy. I mean, yeah, we got a little bit unlucky with the offside goal. That is what it is, you know what I mean? You know, a little unfortunate, but it was offside by like a solid yard, so there's no real complaints in that sense. A couple of really good saves and defensive blocks for St Mirren as well, but again, the way we've played, very solid. We've had probably a lot more of the ball. I'm not sure how much exactly, but I'd imagine at least about, give or take, 55. More than half of the ball, maybe 60% if I'm being generous. But it's what we're doing with the ball, the Mars, and we're very, very solid. And as you just said, Stockroom, you're spot on. Mirren is looking very lively. Even though Svanchara's not really done too much besides, you know, obliterate Shamal George. His hold-up play hasn't been bad. Boys in the midfield are doing a solid enough shift. I mean, obviously Chamberlain with a goal is always nice to see. McGregor just doing the captain's role very effectively. That's another good take for Svanchara. He's kept the pressure alive and stayed on it, and that's Mirren again funneling in. He's always there. I love this man. We need to keep him at all costs. This is him with a very inconsistent squad, man. We actually backed that fucking boy with some solid players around him. There's potential, man. Maybe he does give me O'Reilly vibes, but he just plays a bit too far forward for me to say that he's kind of like O'Reilly. That's a big awkward moment. Chance for St Mirren if they can do something here. It's not the weirdest touch in the world, but that little redirect was nice actually. Young has done well. And Tierney once again does a decent enough job to get in front of it. And the run on that far side, it was kind of laid off for Younger for the start. It was man drawn that we got into the box. It was a nice little kind of, I don't know who it was that kind of tried to lay it off for him. But Celtic deal with it in the end. Corner kick potentially. Last chance for St Mirren in this half to try and get something going into it. They would very much take that, considering the fact they've been out of this for pretty much all 50 minutes of this game so far. And they do win the knock-on actually, to be fair. Could have gone over everyone, and I think it did in the end, but surely there probably would have been a foul in there as well. There was a couple of Celtic bodies that went down, Scales got collided away, but no, I don't actually see where the foul would have been. Either way, it was off target, so we're not too fussed. Sent up the pitch. I think the one thing that's kind of irritating me with the chance creation is that we know goal difference could genuinely be a factor in what wins this league. And when you consider the amount of chances that we've missed, there's another big opportunity. Please get that across. It's overhit. This is my fucking point, man. We can't keep doing that. So frustrating, man. Really good opportunity to put the pressure on them. We don't really take it. St Mirren are playing out for the back cam enough, although they've given it away. McGregor back to Ralston, cut across for Trusted. His long passing's been very good actually for a lot of this. Scales towards Dyson, nice little step to the side there. Has a bit of time to pick his pass, just lays it off to Oxlade-Chamberlain in the end. Switched with pace and purpose over. Yeah, right call actually. Young gets it, ball into the box is decent, it's laid off, surely big chance for us, and again Svanchara just refuses to shoot when he should. You need to fucking spin on it and hit it, big man. That's what Iniacho did to win us the game less than a week ago. Did you not watch it? Instead he tries to be too clever and rolls it back. It's a wee bit disappointing for the striker, I've got to be honest, man. Like, the first touch was lovely, it's just you have to spin and shoot there, try and force something rather than just running it back into the sea of purple bodies. But half time is pretty much about as calm as you can ask, to be honest with you. Let's actually have a breakdown at the stars, let's have a look. Yeah, seems about right. St Mirren have kind of came into it a wee bit more towards the end, but a couple of loose shots off target's probably the nicest way to put it. One real actual chance, which was that shot for the edge of the box with Freckleton, which was pretty much again straight at Sinisalo, so they've not done anything in terms of major chance creation. Celtic on the other hand, we did score early on, but that was disallowed for offside, and then we pretty much within, what, 8 minutes after that, similar type of situation, get the ball into the box, although this time very good run off, get it in towards Oxlade-Chamberlain from the deflected shot off McGregor, and it's very well placed into the far corner. And we've had one or two opportunities since then. Svanchara obviously having that collision with George, if he got his leg just a wee bit further in front and probably ran maybe a second or so earlier, he would have gotten to that ball and it would have gone into the back of the net. But all things considered, Celtic are playing the better stuff, and you know, just check the possession stats there, it is over 60%. I thought it was being generous with that, turns out it was being under appreciative of the possession holding abilities of Celtic Football Club, because it's 64% possession to St Mirren's 36. Although with it being half time, we should probably look through some of the other results. Let's see if there's any updates to other games. It is still all square between Hearts and Motherwell. That's not too surprising, I suppose. They're pretty much in a, you know, a kind of Mexican standoff, I suppose, right? It's whoever draws first blood is probably going to win that game, to be quite frankly honest. They're not teams that score a lot of goals, but they won't concede many. Aberdeen are 1-0 up against Hibs, that remains the same. Good fair play to them in that sense. And I mean, Celtic are doing the job against St Mirren. Dundee are 1-0 up against Livingston, and the game that's carrying the most drama in terms of what it does for the table, I suppose, is Kelly up against Dundee. It's a pretty interesting one. If you want a little look at what that does for the table as it stands, there you go. Celtic temporarily hopscotch Rangers until they play tomorrow at the very least, but there is your little glance as it stands. But like I said, towards the bottom of the table, Kelly being 2-1 up against Dundee means that it's a bit more tight knit. There's only 2 points that basically swings, but in fact if you want to be more accurate, there's only 3 points that separates the 11th to 8th position. So Aberdeen being 1-0 up against Hibs is fucking massive for them. And more importantly, I mean, Motherwell will be quite happy as well, because if Hibs are 4 points behind going into the split, gives them a little bit of an advantage to guarantee that they might be able to squeeze out European football, which is always nice for them, I suppose. Definitely some interesting scenarios playing out, for sure. The Celtic team were 4th Hearts and Rangers at home, so either or take the title. Yeah, you've zero faith that a team that plays like this will win the league. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it, man? it's one of those. No team in this league, I've said it a few times over basically the last 2 or 3 months, it's not about who's going to be the best, right? Like, I think that's like disrespectful to other previous campaigns that other teams in this league have had, right? It's going to be who's the least shit. And right now, you would say in form, Rangers have that, but obviously Celtic have the experience. We have numerous title winners in that team. So, that might play into our favour. Hearts obviously have the lead, right? They're the ones that have the control of it. If they're perfect from now to the end of the season, it doesn't really fucking matter what Celtic and Rangers do. But they're currently messing up before the splits even happened, right? If they drop 2 major fucking wins that they should realistically have had before the split, it's bad for them, because it's technically 4 drop points between the draw against Livingston, and if it stays all square in the game against Motherwell at Tynecastle, that's a major fuck up on their part, because obviously Celtic will be a point behind them, and if Rangers win tomorrow, they'd be a point in front. And that means that the first, second and third are all within basically a point of each other, and it's going to be a hell of a title running for sure. But Celtic have got I wouldn't say the luck of the draw per se, because again, explain this, they weren't going to put Celtic and Rangers at home on the last day. There would have been fucking riots, people would have died, so it was just a flip of the coin between Falkirk and Hearts, and we got Hearts in the final day as opposed to the Burns, which happens. We've played Hearts in the final day a few times before. We've done it with Aberdeen a few times before. Like, it's not too surprising. So yeah, I'm not angered by it. I think in terms of what we could have got for the split, it's not the worst. At least we know what we have to do going into that final day. If we're within touching distance, then we know one. If, you know, there's I know what people are saying when they say it's a conspiracy, because theoretically, right, I get it, if Hearts are like maybe like what 2-3 points like behind Rangers and they're losing against us in the 90th minute, we'll like throw the game so the Hearts can win the title so the Rangers don't. I get it, but I think people forget that professionals don't give a shit about that. Their pride's on the line, so they'll want the 3 points regardless, especially for what it does in terms of European football. So I don't know, it's an interesting one. Nice to see you, Jimmy Six Pouches. Hope you're well, my guy. Some interesting ones for sure. Let me pull up some other stuff if I can. Any other games that you would like me to take a gander at? I suppose you should just look at the Premier League, see what's going on there. Brighton are 1-0 up against Burnley, and Brentford are 1-1 against Everton. And Liverpool will be playing Fulham after this match. I'll probably be watching that on the side while I'm doing stuff after stream. Well, chat, feel free to fire in any questions if you have them. I'm more than welcome to answer. As long as it's not anything weird. Don't ask for my social security details or anything like that, you know what I mean? If it's game related, I probably should say. Do you think we make any changes? Is there anyone that you think standing out from the crowd in the opening kind of, well, at that point, 52 minutes of football? I'd say there's a few standouts for sure. I think Young's done a pretty solid job. Nick been pretty involved and all over the place. Oxlade-Chamberlain's been very solid. Obviously popped him up with a goal and probably could have had a second if he just timed his run a little bit better on the 5th, 6th minute. So there's a few boys that have earned their stead. Trusty's been quite calm at the back as well. Sinisalo's not really had much to do, but he's commanding his box calmly enough, which is always a plus. You can never really argue with that. So I think on precipice we're doing okay, right? No one's really going to bitch about the standard of play, but it's the same kind of thing that always happens when we have games like this, where it's like, it would be nice if you could just score an extra goal or two, because goal difference could be fucking crucial here. We don't want to leave it to that, man. It'd be such a shit way to lose the title. Touch wood, I fucking too right, man. Can I go about myself? I suppose we should take a little gander. But yeah, I suppose I should actually pull this up so you can take a gander. That was Flash taking a picture in his, well, in the Green Brigade. That was like before kick-off. He'd literally sent me this with like a rundown of how he's feeling outside the ground and stuff. Enjoying himself, life is good. I think he'll be pretty happy with the half-time score as it stands. Getting a couple of interesting things. Let me have a look at other matches. Oh, Leverkusen are 1-0 up against Dortmund. For those that are interested in German football, well, that's a result that could be actually very detrimental to their title running, especially with St. Pauli playing Bayern Munich later on. I'd hope St. Pauli win that. I like St. Pauli, but Bayern are just a very strong, capable fucking side. Frankfurt are 2-0 up against Wolfsburg. Right, Mother Nature, I get to me, fuck off. Christ above. It's the one downside to living in a place you hate. Oh, you wee baby. Fuck. Is the wind going up? Am I hitting balls? What the fuck is the deal? No, can't leave. The exact same as it was like an hour ago. Now we got about, give or take, what, 5-10 minutes for here until we kick off for the second half. Ain't got too much. I have to really touch on. I know we're talking about the player of the year. I don't think there's anyone else that really deserves it besides Negrin. I don't even know why they're doing a player fucking vote. Silly stuff, man. It's like, yeah, there's only been 1 or 2 players that have actually been alright, right? It's essentially either Yang for the 2-3 months where he was actually effective, or Negrin for at least scoring goals. There's no one else that's really in with a shout. I know there's a few people that are saying Sinisterra should be a late shout because since he's came in he's been quite alright, I suppose. But I just don't think he's played enough games to merit being a player of this season. Maybe the player of the last month or two. He's definitely stabled a lot of things out. The back in between the sticks, he's pulled off some good saves. I'm not going to sit there and argue with that. He's been twice as effective as Schmeichel, but for me, it's a pretty straight shot, right? It's Negrin. I don't think there's anyone else that even gets close. You can maybe make a slight argument, I guess, maybe for On, if you want to take that approach. Maybe Tenecte, because he started the season quite well. I think those would be the 3, right? It would realistically be fucking... It'd be Negrin, Tenecte, probably maybe I don't actually know who would be third. It's a hard one to say with confidence because you can't say it with confidence, you know. There's a few players that are in that weird bracket of they've been alright but they've not been at the level that they're, you know, usually at, so it's one of those. That's very kind of you, Mike. Thank you for joining us, my guy. Totally forgot we should got to see how many, what if we gained any at all over the half. Let me just do that now. I actually gained a couple more than I was expecting. Very nice. We're 3 away for 1860. Our goal for the end of the season is 1888. There is absolutely no reason for that whatsoever. There is none. There is no reason I have that goal. Not a single one whatsoever. There is no hint of any reason as to why. I know that I'm not going to hit 2,000. I've kind of cemented myself to that now. It's kind of why I'm dialing things back when the season ends. But if we can hit that goal, that'd be pretty fucking nice. For the soul. And for the theme, I guess. Well, speaking of the Belgian boy, he's currently the talk of the commentators right now. They're theorising that he might be coming on potentially, which could be interesting. And talking about some options that Mirren could take. I mean, if you want a little look at the bench options so that you can make your... Excuse me. Bro, I just want to look at the fucking lineups. Sure. Fascinating stuff, this. Only can't even look at the... I mean, I can load up other things and I can't load that. incredible. Well, I guess I can't show you the substitutions because it's timed out for some fucking reason. Intriguing. Worst comes to worst, I'll just pull up someone else. Some of the boys are back out and ready to go though. Are you showing the match? No, Sophie, unfortunately not. That would get copyright struck down. It's in the title. Watchalong. Just waiting for the Celtic boys to come out, and then we'll be kicking off the second half, and hopefully a much more decent performance would be nice. If we can get a similar type of half actually, where we score early and just calm things down for there, we should be pretty alright, but there's always that chance that Mirren can catch us cold early in the half and surprise us and maybe steal something, but I'd be very surprised if they really change up as much as one would imagine. I feel like they might go a bit more attacking, 100%, but I don't think they'll do too much else besides that. So, main screen. Oh, a decent half is all we can hope for. Nice to see you, Clip. He is very happy, we'll give him credit for that. Don't think Celtic have made any changes. Seems to be more or less as is. Yeah, I don't mind too much to be honest with you. Just carry on as is. Kieran Tierney for you. Better and more resilient than expected. Yeah, you know, I can see your argument, actually, to be fair with you, Jimmy. I think that there is a case, like, I was going to say that Araujo could be a shout as well, because he's brought a good amount of fire at the right time as well, but it's just, like, if you compare the Tierney that we used to have, he's done a pretty good job of trying to, like, mimic that almost, right? He's kind of similar in terms of goals involvements anyway, that's never left him. I think the only thing is that Sirachi's been pretty good as well. Like, no one's been god awful. There's been some miserable players, don't get me wrong, right? Schmeichel, I would say, easy contender for worst player of the season, but that just came down to age, fatigue, and more importantly towards the end of the last few months, that injury to his shoulder that he just didn't shrug off, so it kind of cost him a lot. A few players have definitely dipped this season. I think that's why it's hard to pick a outright favourite. Spring back the great Nakamura. I'd bring him back as a set piece coach. Maybe we'll teach him a thing or two about swazzing a ball in with absolute precision, man. It'd be fucking brilliant to have him as like a offensive set piece type coach, you know. Free kicks for 25 to 35 yards, that's specialty range, that's his bread and butter, it would be brilliant. Mirren are trying to dance forward a bit early here. It's actually a good ball out towards the right hand side. Let's see what they try and do with it. It's cut back. They might go for another shot through range. They don't, thankfully. That's good for us. Switched high and over everybody. They might be able to take it down in the far side, but they're not going to do too much with it besides go backwards. Do well retain their shape though. Switched across. Andron tries to lay it off. Again, they're just not doing too much with it. They get forward, they do the right things, and then they just kind of sit back in on themselves. It's hard to see an angle where they could break through. I mean, maybe they'd push Phillips up a wee bit further, maybe they even do it with Devaney, drop him a bit deeper in and allow... No, even if they drop a Ewan actually, they could probably go with a, like almost like a 2-2-2 almost, instead of that really weird overlap, because every time John's stepping out, Celtic are just popping it down the wing and exposing it. That's got to be a foul, surely. Yep. College getting a bit too physical with Schwanchara. We smile between the two of them, so I suppose that's nice to see, but it was a shot pull, very much so. Oh, Maeda tries to go on the step in. It does take a weird deflection back towards St Mirren's goalkeeper. Well dealt with by Scales, pop back towards Sinisalo off of the kind of weird bounce in the midfield. Ralston has it. It's more or less just a 1-2 switch between him. I think Negrin there coming off first, although the ball's been kind of temporarily stopped. Ralston's still on the ground, but he's up on his feet now, which is quite nice to see. You don't want to see him down too long. Yeah, definitely a trip up by a Young. I suppose that's the nicest way to go. Just kind of hits him in the back a wee bit physically up. This little pop and move. How's your control? Not the worst, but Celtic still need to retain it. Scales goes for the switchbacks and Asalo under a bit of pressure to take a first touch clearance, but it's not the worst touch at all. Actually, it's very well calm. Nice, I like that. But we don't necessarily deal with the bounce arounds, and they still win the ball, but it's a throw in the halfway line rather than right beside us. Oh wait, Superwell, no fucking way. Has it happened? It's happened! Oh, they're falling apart. That's so, I don't understand what's happening with them. They fucked it, the Tynecastle side are 1-0 down. St Mirren also have a player in the book. It's Donnelly that's gone in, I believe. But yep, it's 100% confirmed. Also, Livingston have done their madness again and somehow fucking found an equaliser. But Motherwell are 1-0 up against Hearts, which means for the table, if it even fucking lets me show, I wonder if it does. Oh, it does, fantastic. Yep, we're even on points. And more importantly, well, a couple of extra goals and we could hop above them today. There was Longello that scored for Motherwell, if you're curious. So, damn interesting. Damn interesting indeed. We have a set piece chance ourselves, potentially something we can do for you. It'd be nice. We go for a quick one actually. It's not a bad Loffy Negrin, it's a well timed run, but it's over everyone. And now in the far end, which is a little unfortunate considering the fact that it was a very promising approach. Just didn't necessarily deal with the run the right way, but Kalechi's getting warmed up on the sideline. You've seen him walk past Martin O'Neill there, so chances are we'll see him feature. It's very, very crucial for us in that last match as well, so don't mind that too much. Sonchara's done a pretty decent job of holding things up. He's not missed sitters this game, so I can't be mad at him in that sense. He's just not really had too many chances to thrive, let's say. As much as Celtic have been the better team, can't say we've had too much in terms of outright, clear-cut chances. We've had to kind of dig in at times. Nice little move there for St Mirren. The ball in isn't half bad, but I think very similar to us, it's very overhit and looks like it was offside anyway. I don't want to say confidently up the flag's going on. It was like it looked like it would have been offside, so even if he did take it down and score, it would have been shed. Let's see, yeah, definitely offside, no real hesitation there. Not that it would have mattered because he was away for the ball. Well, definitely opens things up. I mean, if you're a Rangers fan, you must be fucking... They've been waiting for this day. But they beat Falkirk tomorrow, it puts them in good stead, but that also puts the pressure on them to win, doesn't it? Because anything besides that, if they draw with Falkirk, it means that all three teams would be equal on points, which would be fucking dramatic as hell for the split. Basically a 5-game shootout with all teams level on points. That would be fantastic. Celtic still have a bit of a game to go here, and obviously Motherwell aren't exactly out of the woods at Tynecastle. They can come back, they can get late goals. We know it all too well with Hearts. They've done it a few times this season. So it's not set in stone as of yet, but again we also know the capabilities of Motherwell. Fair play to them for being 1-0 up. Steelman needed a bit of form back, that's a good way to get it. Ball sent forward by us actually. Chance if we can anchor on it. My head is there trying to win a header against the guy that's like a foot taller than him. I love the hustle. Does get pulled down there, but the referee doesn't really buy the acrobatics. I think he did try and settle a bit too much there. What's been happening? Not too much, Caden. Motherwell 1-0 up against Hearts, so technically right now we're level on points. I think if we score 3 goals from this point, we'd actually go above Hearts, so who knows. I mean, if I'm not Motherwell, that's what I'd be saying to them, like, boys, grab a goal or two and use her in fantastic position here. It'd be the definition of breathing down their necks. That's a good ball forward if he's onside. Never mind, the wind fucking took that one. Jesus Christ. You've seen the replay, it goes like this and then just... So when they get a throw in from it, they take it quickly. I guess the wind's starting to hit Glasgow now as well. At least a little bit more noticeably. You see some later apples kind of blowing across the pitch and stuff as well. To quote that one meme, it's fucking windy. A good little breakaway there facing Mirren if they can move it quicker. Man drawn, nice little shift. They've got bodies, they can use it. Phillips. Out towards that far side, switch back in towards the 88. Not changing too much in terms of the shape of Celtic, I don't mind that too much, but you've got to keep the pressure at least on the fullbacks for the quick crosses, because they will go for them when they're open. Young's quite aware of that one. He can steps out to cover the space as well, which is nice to see. They're working as a unit. No individual mistakes as of yet. That's a very decent touch for the Mirren man. The second one was not though. Celtic just prioritised getting the lines clear and Gogic retains it. Nice little taking touch. I mean, I'm trying to go for it a wee bit more. Ball in behind could be very good depending on where it goes, but Scales just cuts in front of it. Nice little touch as well, big man. There you go. Some confidence. Nice little pass out for the back depending on where the touch goes. It wasn't the worst touch in the world, but would have been a lot to ask. Sneaking to get on the end of that one between Freckleton and Gogic. Some Mirren defenders deal with that amongst themselves. Don't know it. Nice little taking touch there again. I'm trying to press forward a little bit by a little bit, but thankfully for us we're not really too affronted by it. Still very set in our shape, not doing anything too bad. Make the second score exactly that minute. If we get the second goal, we would be a lot more comfortable. It's kind of, it would play out pretty much with my predictions. An early goal in the first half, more or less an early goal in the second. We just ride it out. We don't need to be pragmatic in this game, we just need to get the win. Which right now we're doing, but Mirren are trying to grow into the game bit by bit with our confidence. Balls whipped in, back stick, is he onside? Referee says yes. But I think it took a... Was he onside? Pretty sure he was anyway. Yep, definitely onside, so corner kick. Ah, nice to see you, Catholic. Hope you're well, my guy. Let's have a little look, see what's happened. The part score's still 1-0 to Motherwell, mate. 2-1 between Kelly and Dundee. 1-0 between Aberdeen and Hibs are 1-0 in that match, I should say. Still 1-0 here, although there is a corner kick, so hold that thought just in case. We've cleared it, calm enough. No real stress there. And obviously, Livingston are 2-1 up against fucking Dundee United. They're really good at doing that, man. They just like scoring 2 goals. I think there's a foul there. Gogic made a run inside. He's the one that's had the foul pulled up on him anyway. Chamberlain get the defence going now. Skill's doing a pretty decent job in his own rights. Can't say anything's bad with the way we've been playing across the board. We ideally just need that second goal. We get the second goal, I'll feel a lot more at ease. 1 goal leads terrify me for so many fucking reasons. I just don't trust the way that this team is when it comes to luck. to be able to just ride out a 1-0 win, man, it's very not like us. We kind of need that second just for the lack of anxiety. That's decent, nice. Not faulting the way we're doing things so far, but it's getting a wee bit dicey now. We're just kind of clearing the ball up the field rather than trying to actually do anything with it. So ideally, if we can avoid that, try and keep the ball a bit closer into our chest, or get some bodies on the fucking pitch to make sense. Get Tenekte on, get fucking Iniachu on, go for on in the midfield for probably Chamberlain, I would say. Drop Negrin back to make it a flat 3 again, and just play with a bit more fitness in mind, especially because you've got those extra bodies going forward. You can cause some problems. There's a few legs are starting to look a bit leggy, indeed, some tired ones out there for sure. I feel like there might be a change during the next 5 to 10 minutes at the absolute latest, but for now St Mirren are trying to press, so that's a lovely ball over the top if they can control it. And he's there with his man, ball over, pitched, and again Svinchara's all the way back there, and his touch is fucking woeful. Chamberlain is there as well. Get back. Nice bit of defending from Ida, popped over. Chamberlain should be able to deal with. Fucking hell, Chamberlain. I think he was trying to like do the kind of clever touch to get past his man and then punt it forward, and just absolutely miscontrolled it, I suppose. That would be the nicest way to put the corner kick for St Mirren in the meantime then. That's very kind of you, though. Please do consider doing just that, if you don't mind, of course. Ball into the box is awkward. I can't really see where it is because of the fucking sun. I think it bobbled up and over the top anyway, so there's another corner kick to come, I believe. I think Scales was the one that got in the end of the original touch. Yeah, it was. Another set piece to come in. Like I said though, this is where St Mirren are at their best. I don't like this. Please do not fuck it. Ball whipped in. Another extra weird bounce. St Mirren have the edge of the area. They can't dig it out for under their feet, but they've got it shifted and there's a lot of space for him to pick out a cross. Tries to be a bit too clever and sidestep and whip it in. Doesn't necessarily work out, but the second one is pretty good actually. They kind of bounced down and bobbled, and apparently it's a corner kick again. I thought that was a touch off of the 88 off the back end of Ralston there, but I guess not. Corner kick for them. I suppose that's one way to say it, Kane. It wasn't exactly the best piece of defending there for Ralston. Oof, Christ, it's getting a wee bit dicey now, boys. Can you wake the fuck up? That'd be lovely. That's surely offside. For now the flag stays down. Maeda's little flick on was actually genius. I love that. That's got to be a foul, and probably a yellow card. Seems like that's exactly what's happened. Decent for Young there to win that. I'm not going to complain about the standard, but we do need to pick it up just a wee bit. Yeah, and definitely got wiped the fuck out there. But changes are abound, and pretty good changes as well. We've got the return of Arne Engels, which is nice. Good for the soul in that sense. We'll take that in a lot of aspects. And of course, Svanchara is off, Negrin is off, and it's going to be Iniachu in jail. So again, I thought it would have been obviously Chamberlain that would have came off instead of Negrin, but we've gone with the polar opposite idea. Still the same approach though, nonetheless. Like for like switches, just make sure there's less fatigue in the middle of the park. Not too bad. Apparently, Hearts have equalised against Motherwell. Let's take a gander. They have indeed. Fair play to them. Like I said, it's never set in stone. This fucking league is weird. They have indeed equalised though. Fair play to them in that sense. Once I get a confirmed goal scorer, I'll pass on that information, but nothing as of now. But speaking of goals, it'd be nice if this game could have another one, specifically for us, because I don't like how dicey this is getting. It's not like the first half where it's comfortably 1-0 in front. There's a few dicey moments, a few players kind of hunching over when they're not on the ball and trying to take an extra second to breathe. I feel like there's definitely some defensive changes that might be needed at some point in the next 5 to 10 minutes as well. But for now, mostly midfield and attacking changes. That's what we have. Nice little take and touch for Yang. The second one's fucking lovely as well. And the switch ain't half bad if Maeda can get there, but the wind is carrying that, man. Jesus. They will get there, the Japanese man. But the passing is less than ideal, let's say. Probably could have done a wee bit. You can see the fucking Celtic corner one, man. It's like this, you know. That storm that was just passing through here is hit Glasgow, if you can't tell. Don't know if he's onside or not, but for now the flag stays down. So Mirren could be in behind potentially here, cut back and into space. That's a very dangerous area, boys. Get a fucking body in the way. Well done, arm. Onto the pitch and immediately just calms the play down. Scenes. Love to see it, and even though the referee could have raised his flag for offside, they do it after Arm burns his energy to get to the ball. Thanks, man. Could have done that when he was fucking originally running. And even then he wasn't offside, so what the fuck are you talking about? The referee, they've just messed up on two fronts there. Could have just let his play on. Would win the ball back. Is it for the other ball through? Like, no. So, I don't know. Referee got it wrong on both fronts. We need to pop off. So to speak, try and get something fucking going here, man. Need a rally or a piece of individual brilliance, something of that sense, just to wake the crowd up a wee bit, because a few kind of nerves are noticeable amongst the boys. Although that's a great press from Solo McGregor. As soon as I fucking say that, McGregor just goes through the back of his man. Fantastic, World Chief, excellent. So Mirren get the ball back. Definitely gained a bit more confidence as time has gone on. Give him credit where it's due, but at the same time, fuck him. And again, very good little touch and take. They've kind of collided. Well, off the ball incident, never mind. I think it was a Younger that kind of tripped his man up there, fair enough. Nice to see Yank it. Yeah, we're all in the same boat, and it's like 1-0 is great and all. However, my heart is not allowing this shit. I looked away for a half a second, I turned back and Iniacho's down in the box. He does not look happy. What happened there? Ball over the top, lovely touch. Oh, he just doesn't sort his feet out. I was going to say, man, the camera didn't cut back in time. It showed what happened there. He got past his man lovely, but the touch to set him up to shoot let him down. Theme of the strikers this season. Schwanchara did that same shit in the first half too. I respect that he tried to go for that still. Tried to kick it thin air, fair enough. Mirren have amped it up a wee bit. I wouldn't say they've gotten into 4th or 5th gear by any means, but they've certainly dialed up a notch or two. Is Iniacho onside there? Yes, good man. Yeah, I was going to say he's getting fucking hugged there. Like, Gogic is not happy, but bro, you can't literally have your arms out around the boy. That's pretty straightforward as a foul. Well, yeah, it's about as simple as it gets. No real arguments there. Watching magic, exactly. Well, I mean, it would be nice. A second would always be good for the soul. We're always hoping for shit like that. And again, with the way that things are playing out, every goal could matter. I just realised how much St Mirren's replacement goalkeeper Mullen looks like Butland. He's like an off-brand Butland. Interesting. 2/3 of this game have been comfortably passed now. Ball whipped in. It's awkward, not necessarily cleared by St Mirren, still dangerous. Nice little shimmy and take. Shimmies again. Nice. We're still retaining the ball. This is a bit better, boys. Plenty of space and time to pick your passes and immediately shifted on. Young's having a really good game, man. Much better. Just consistency in general. Nice for Chamberlain, overruns it. But back in his space, calm enough taking touch. You've got to play that early. Does play early, although is he onside? The referee says yes, but either way, keeper was going to claim that one. Just got to pick the speed up a wee bit, try and get a clear-cut chance. That is all we can really hope for. Sitting would be great for the nerves though. We could have stole the ball back there, but instead he's overran it and there was a potential chance. Force Mirren to try and break forward instead. Played out far side. Don't know if he's, again, they're really pressing that offside line as far as they can. Flag stays down for now as well though. Played out for Mandarin. Switched across. Played in towards a young guy. He's going to be put under pressure for Maeda. Good hustle there. Good hustle there. And he actually was going to receive it, and that's... oh, okay, that's a bit snappy there. How the fuck is he not going in the book at this point? Dude, with all due respect, man, he's committed like 7 different fouls, Gogic. He's literally, that's the second, exactly, it's the second snappy foul on any actual in a minute. He's still not been booked. Pull your fucking card out, ref, man. He's going to keep doing it until otherwise, like... Twice in the first half, twice in the second half, he's getting away with a lot here. Trust it. Good switch, but again, you could tell as soon as he released that pass it was going to find nobody of note. You need to do a thing called aiming, my guy. You need to look where you're passing it first. That would probably have helped Celtic do well to win that ball back if you loose touches, but eventually controlled easy enough. Oh fuck me, man. So he just made a pass and then went down to hold his hamstring. I think Trusty's having cramp issues. Seems to be running off well enough though. Aniacho tries to spin on it. I don't mind that. Maeda's actually stayed with it. That is really good hustling. Haven't seen that since like the 20th minute. And a good there's on running in, trying to push a challenge on himself. Like, I like that. Trying to say that it's a throw-in for us. I also admire the shithouse referee, the Belgian, but I don't think that would have been a throw-in for us, would it have been? Nah. Actually, it probably could have been. One of those down to interpretations. Referee Guy Armo they are talking to than the guy that literally has been touching, like breaking fucking limbs in Gogic. Or you can get away with it as long as you're, oh, no problem at all, sir. But if you get up his arm and go, mate, I think that's a throw-in, all of a sudden it's like a 2-minute lecture on how you can't speak back to the referee. Yeah, grab your gimp and fucking play on. Eventually the ball is underway again. Comfortably past the 70th minute mark now. It would be interesting to see if there's any late developments in this one, or more importantly in all the other games that are ongoing right now. We'll take a little check once we hit the 75th. See what's happening in the games around the country right now. Scales, risky pass, but I'll tell you what, nice little layoff and cushioned one for McGregor to respond. Lovely playouts towards that far side again. Maeda's got it on the left, good switch. And in the boxes should have been 2. And he actually missed a sitter, and his reaction tells you he's fucking furious with himself there. Genuinely like screams with all his might. He knows he missed a big chance. He times his run so well, but he just puts too much on the touch. If he just cushions that, if he just lets it kind of redirect half his shin almost, it would have just rolled into the net. And he kind of gives Maeda a wee applause and thank you for the pass. He knows he fucked it there. Scales gets the captain's armband. McGregor's going to walk off the pitch. Nice to see. He's going to take a wee gander off to our midfielders. Makes sense to get some energy on. McCowan and Rio are going to be the changes, the final changes. So I don't mind that too much. Some good physicality in McCowan, and more importantly some decent legs and long passing ability in Rio, which could work for over the tops, which seems to be the fucking main theme of what we're doing right now. Can't be too angry at it for that sense. Mirren are going to make some changes of their own. More defensive minded changes, to be honest with you. I believe Young is on the pitch, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the guy in the other shot number. Fuck off. I think it's... Is it... Oh yeah, Younger, fuck's sake, that's 11 into it. So Richardson's on for him. Those are your 2 changes. Really? That's a foul. Fair enough. So Mirren get the ball rolling. So they give a bit more bite in their step now. It seems like those now substitutions weren't a bad addition at all. Sinisalo's ball out is high-risk, high-reward. Fuck me, it was not dealt with by Freckleton whatsoever. There was a runner in behind, that would have been the perfect ball to chase. Only here for the Saints, you go, sure, fair enough, no. Don't be manifesting things into existence now, you asshole, please. That would suck for a lot of reasons. We'd rather not have that happen. And if it does, then it has to be returned in kind when you just draw to Falkirk the Mora for no reason at all other than for the fucking vine. Good hustle enough for Tierney. That was always going to be a goal kick for us. Let's take a little check, see what's happening across the leagues. There has been some developments. Aberdeen have doubled their lead against Hibs, so Hibs have Hibsed it. Surprise, surprise. Kelly are still 2-1 up against Dundee. There has been no real other further developments between Hearts and Motherwell, although that one is still all square. Celtic, as we've been touching on for the past nearly, near enough 2 hours now. We're 1-0 up here. And of course, because there's always like 2 goals that they concede and score, Dundee are 2 each against Livingston, so fair enough in that sense. Got to say, it's not exactly not set yet, these matches, not by any stretch of the imaginations. There could be late winners all across the front in the equal games, and more importantly some late equalisers as well, but Celtic are the ones that are doing the pressing right now. Although Rio just gets absolutely megged a belter there, man. Through the legs and away. I wonder what would be Hearts. I mean, it's always possible. I had them down as a draw. I felt like I had a draw written all over that one, but again, you don't really make predictions with them expecting to happen, let's say, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of, it's hard to predict this league. No team is in, like, good form. The same way that no team's in really awful form, it's just inconsistent form through every single fucking team. Switch. Nice. Tierney got space and a lot of it to work with. Just going to take his wee redirected run, looking for any open options. Laid it after the Belgian man in midfield and laid back squarely to Tierney. Rio's got it. Nice, I don't mind this. Good play between Tierney and McCowan as well. I like this pressing, boys. I like this pressing a lot. Just stifling St Mirren's creative edge and taking their ability to try and counter-attack away. I was going to say, Tierney, you need to wait for that one, man. Rio was running ahead of you. That's why, just gives you the extra passing lanes. Nice move. That could work out. Fucking excellent move for Celtic. Have a crack for range, mate. You might as well. Doesn't. Why don't we ever try and shoot for range, man? Like, are they allergic to it? I have no fucking idea. Ball played into space again, no. Yeah. It's been a very pleasant surprise in this game. Hasn't done too much in terms of goal contributions, but well, that could work out as well. Ball across could be dangerous, and Rio does the Rio thing where he just taps it against the defender and then does the whole when he realises that it wasn't going to work. We're all hoping for the 2-0 Samsung 100%. How the fuck did you stay on your feet there? Fair enough, Trusty, man. Well, they broke his limbs to get to that pass, but did well enough. Ball over the top could be good depending on the touch from Maeda here. The touch is awful, fuck's sake, man. It just feels like the Top Gear, like fucking Top Gear thing, isn't it? It's like, we should be doing this, but instead we're going to do this, and it's just like fucking explosions and dreadful bullshit. Like, come on, Christ, boys, you should have had a second by now. Come on, England, give us another fucking goal. We really do need that second. You know that the shithousery merchants are planning something severe in the 95th minute, man. Like, do not let it happen. Motherwell are making some changes here. But changes chances, apparently. Don't know if anyone's watching that game live. Apparently Motherwell just missed a really big opportunity. That's the only update I have in that game for you. Apparently that was a foul on for Iniacho as well. Very soft, but foul. At the end of the day, if we get across the line with 3 points, I'll take it. But it's not exactly convincing, you know. I have a lot of respect for Motherwell. I used to go to college right beside the stadium. I am a North Lanarkshire man by trade. But I'm like equal distance between, you know, the club that we're watching and Motherwell. Nice little pass across there for Mirren. They're trying their best. I think they're running out of that creative juice that was giving them that 15-minute stint at the start of the second half when they were trying to build some momentum. It's well and truly crumbled under them now. They're going to need to try and build that from scratch, and Celtic again have just been playing a bit more of a straightforward match in that aspect, keeping things a little bit slow. Not as high octane or high energy as the first half, but doesn't necessarily need to be. Mandrone's going to be coming off. He's had a pretty good game for St Mirren, given the lack of chances and stuff. Looks like it's actually going to be a double change for them. Yeah, either one McMenamin. It's going to be Declan John and Mandrone that's coming off, so although we'll probably just replace like for like, and McMenamin will go ahead of him. Don't know if that means we'll tweak the formation to kind of adjust with that, if they would kind of go with a more flat 4 and probably would push Richardson a bit near central, I'd imagine. See if they can get something going that way. Although Celtic have immediately gone for a quick switch. How's your touch, Young? Not the greatest, but he does retain it, so we'll not give him too much credit for it. Could have done a lot better. Celtic play in his space. Nice little taking touch for him. Tierney out towards Dyson. Rio, quick 1-2 is really nice. My head into the box. It takes a bounce around, and he actually doesn't necessarily deal with it. St Mirren trying their best to get away with that, and of course that's a fucking foul every time they've gone down. It's a foul. It seems to be the theme now. Come on to the Christ ref. It was a lovely little 1-2 between him and Rio, and I don't think any actual would have been able to get on here because he was slipping as the ball came in. Don't know how many times I've said it this game, but the ball into the box is lovely, just no one necessarily at the right area at the right time. We do need a kill and blow. Can't wait till by Trusty. Keeps it in play as well. Gets a wee mini cheer for the Green Brigade, but well, until they realise where the ball went, let's say it's not exactly great. Final third throw in for St Mirren. Getting hard to argue that we deserve the 3 points for this match, but definitely not the type of performance you would have expected considering the start. First 15 minutes we were all over them, covered them in chances, did exactly what we needed to do, covered the spaces, did all the right necessary things. In the second half it's been a lot less of that, it's been a lot more of the defensive positioning that's done them some solids, and it's always done well to keep that in his hands. Goes for the long point forward and he actually will chase it down. He should be able to hold it up. His touch is actually really fucking nice and he gets bundled there. And we could have fucking played, or you can hear the frustration of the crowd. He genuinely goes to play advantage, and the second he realises that McCowan's on the run through, pulls it back, yellow cards Gogic. You could have just let that run, it would have been a one-on-one. You prick, you know exactly what you were doing there. That is fucking pathetic for the referee. We would have had basically a one-on-one. You can tell by the reaction because he runs through with his arms up like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the one you want to actually pull back? Referee helping out St Mirren there, there's no other way to say it. It comes at the expense of Gogic being booked, but they could have just let that run and carded him afterwards. It's the whole fucking point in advantage. But seeing we were through and... prick. Don't even know the rules of your own game. Still dealing with the man on the ground, because of course they're going to milk as much time out of this as possible, so that they can get probably about 3-4 additional minutes out of this. That's what they're trying to do anyway. They fucking better not, but you can tell that's the angle. 100% the play. While that's happening, let's take a little gander, see if there's any other goal updates. There is an equaliser in the Killian Dundee game, so Rugby Park's playing out another classic match there. There's definitely goals in every game though, for sure. But Aberdeen are still 2-0 up against Hibs. Hearts and Motherwell are still square at 1 apiece. Likewise with Dundee United and Livingston at 2 apiece. And Celtic are still hanging on here, although a little bit dicey in the nicest way possible. But it's working out pretty decent for one team so far, I would say. Celtic are probably the happier of the teams in this situation, although again, Rangers, if they win tomorrow, they'll be quite chuffed because it will put them on top by a singular point. So Hearts will be aware of that. They'll need a late flourish if they want to get something, or some form of an advantage, I should say, going into the split fixtures. Because otherwise, the only games they've got left are tough ones. Falkirk, Hibs, Motherwell, Rangers and Celtic. They are very difficult games, all of them. Yeah, McCowan just getting a wee bit snappy in the heels there, definitely a foul. Celtic engaging a minor press of some sort to try and do something there. Good little run up and header, although we've just given it away and Rio's pussied out of the challenge for some reason. So it's Mirren to try and break forward, switch on the far side. Mother Nature, shut your bitches up for 2 seconds please. Hearts just got a penalty, of course they did. Well, there you go. We have a referee in this game fucking hang up an easy chance where we could have run through and scored, and then less than 2 minutes later they guaranteed that. Is it a valid penalty? I don't want to speak it to it unless it's obviously, if it's like a genuine penalty, fair enough, but is it one of those like, oh come on type of calls? Intriguing. I guess we'll check that in a minute or so. Played shot by St Mirren, that's not what we were expecting. You can tell by the reaction of the boys on the pitch because they're like, what the fuck? Trying their best to break through with it. And in the box, cut back. It's a bit desperate for them, but it's working nonetheless. Shot from range is very lacklustre, almost identical to what Freckleton did at the end of the first half. A shot from range from a goal, but it was under hit, and that's all you can really say about it in a nice fashion. Alright, a player get kicked in the head. Well, if he got kicked in the head, yeah, that's a pretty straightforward penalty call. Apparently they have made it 2. Let's just take a gander and see. That they have. They'll play them. Like I said, Hearts always have that ability to dig a late goal in, even if it comes at the expense of penalties a lot of the time. It'll be a very, very sore blow for Motherwell as well, man. They were finally looking like they were going to get their form back to some degree, and their goalkeeper punched someone in the head, apparently. Fascinating. Well, if it's a valid penalty, it's a valid penalty, you can't really argue with that. Let's see out our own game here then. Maybe Motherwell can do something late in the meantime. Motherwell probably could, but again, I'm done really hoping. We have to just do things on our own terms. For now, it's Celtic and St Mirren. Nothing else matters. Ball played out towards that far side. Young's pass in's a wee bit under hit, but well placed. It's not the worst ball into the box, and then Richardson get back, stick a leg out and put it behind for a corner kick for us. No, late drama always tends to be a thing in these leagues, but that'll be huge, massive for us. It gives them just any form of advantage going into the split if Rangers obviously win tomorrow, which is kind of expected. But anyone that's been in chat with us the whole time, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to rant with you. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. I don't know if we hit the minor goal of the 1860, but we'll check just to be safe. You never know. We've got a corner kick in the meantime. We have not. Still 3-way. Ball's just going to cut back in towards the goalkeeper. Fair enough. Sinisalo's probably just going to burn some extra minutes off the clock. Ain't too much time left in this one. Okay, can't really say it's been a bad performance. It's just been very, yeah. One of those off the ball collisions. I get that. Well, sometimes you need a wee bit of luck, and if it comes at the sacrifice of having a player get his head caved in, then I suppose Hearts would take that. If you're the player and you're offered before the match, hey man, you'll get a penalty late in the match, but it comes at the cost of you getting your head booted. I think most players would take that, to be honest. Celtic are just trying to see this one out, to be honest with you. It's not as if we're trying to go. Well, apparently Hearts have killed this one off. Have Motherwell capitulated? Motherwell have capitulated. Well, there you go. Can't put it down to weird things like that anymore then. Hearts have outright won it. Fair fucking dues to them. They do like a late show. Touched on that at the start of the stream. Doesn't surprise you too much. Although I did have it down as a 2-2 draw. A little disappointing in that sense. I was right about there being 4 goals, but just not in the right order, I suppose. We got 4 minutes to see through here, although to be fair we played through a minute of it already, so we've got, give or take, about 3 minutes to see out. If we get through that, then we walk away with 3 pretty decent points. Not the greatest performance in the planet, but given the circumstances, stability is all we really need. We've had a lot of close 1-0 wins, or 1 goal deficit wins I should say, so that's nice and all, but in terms of goal difference doesn't do us a lot of good. In fact, Hearts actually benefit from this, if anything, because they've just added an extra goal. If we kept that in play, I respect them for staying with it. Cut it back towards Mullen. He'll try and pop it up, and I mean there should be plenty of time for anyone to catch that loose ball, but it's actually somehow went St Mirren's way. Fair enough, I guess. Takes a bobble and a bounce around. 2 injury, I think you're being a bit too optimistic there, MK. I think I also got that one wrapped up and done. Fair fucks to them. They could have let the pressure get to them when they went 1-0 down. Takes at least a good bit of mentality to come back. It's just a bit of sin for Motherwell. Genuinely feel for them, man. They were like in the title fight less than like 4 match days ago, and since then it's been like loss, loss, draw, loss. Not ideal for them going into the split, but again they won't care too much because Hibs are losing to Aberdeen. Keeps the table interesting. Got about a minute and a half to see through here. We've been pretty decent in that sense, I think. Overall, we'll just take it. It's not the worst, not the best. It's just very middle of the road. Let's see me hold off shooting and playing my wives. Nah, the wives need to fucking put some restrictions on that shit immediately. But like, right, if you don't score this weekend, you don't get your whole, and watches every single one of them fight it for a hat trick or some shit. Yeah, definitely. It's all on a knife edge. Hearts are doing what they need to do. Celtic have done what we've needed to do. It'll fall on to see what Rangers do against Falkirk tomorrow, obviously, but I think by the luck of the draw and the way things usually tend to go, Rangers would be favoured in that game. I'd be very surprised if they don't at least get a point out of that match. You can picture a weird 0-0 draw or something, but I don't see them outright losing unless they really mess up. I think that came off a hand now. Yeah, late chance for us. We'll have one last free kick to flurry it into the box, but otherwise I think this game is done. We're past pretty much the 4 additional minutes. We're pretty much just on the referee's time, which is good, because there isn't too much of it left. We're just going to go backwards, and yeah, probably better to just prioritise. Might go for one last footy, actually. Go for it. Might as well, boys. Get a second, that would be alright for a goal difference. Nah, we're just going to go backwards instead. Fuck off. But the whistle is going. We win. That's not bad. I will not complain about that in a lot of aspects. Could have been a lot worse. It's just not the type of performance you would have expected considering the opening, but we do win, and we'll take it up as a whole. St Mirren immediately go and speak to the referees about something. A few of them exchange handshakes, a few having words. Gogic definitely lucky not to get carded this game, so I don't know what the fuck they're buzzing about. That will do. No, exactly that will do. We will 100% take it. We will now do loud yelly thing. We'll just wait till these games wrapped up here. Oh, Dundee actually scored in the last minute. Okay, well there you go. Livingston fucked it in the last minute. Interesting. Hearts are still 3-1 up against Motherwell, so that game is pretty much done and dusted, it is fair to say, unless there's something really late in either of these games. Anyway, it should end as is, but Aberdeen pick up 3 crucial points. Kilmarnock pick up a point that could be crucial to their season, and more importantly detrimental to Dundee's. And I mean, fair play to Hearts, got to give them credit where it's due. Dundee United getting that last minute win is always good for them as well. Not a problem at all, sure then. If that's everyone getting ready to pop off and head off for the stream, you're more than welcome for the let's be honest, rather mid-commentary, but it's appreciated nonetheless. But if you want a little look at the table before you head off, I suppose we should start at the bottom and work our way up, right? So there you go, there's the bottom 6 heading into the split, very tight in certain areas. Obviously Dundee's draw, as things stand, wouldn't be too great for them. Kelly won't be too happy, but they're still very much within that fight. There's a lot of football to be played, so that battle there is interesting. And likewise at the top of the table, Hearts is late kind of flourish, managed to make sure that they're at least 3 points ahead of us, so they maintain their stead, so to speak. But if Rangers win tomorrow, that would put them 1 point back off of them, and again, if Rangers don't do anything besides win tomorrow, then well, there will only be 3 points between basically between us and Hearts, regardless. Really, we're in a alright position heading into this split. I think, given the circumstances, the fact that we've lost 8 fucking games, right? We're actually the second worst team, tied for second worst team when it comes for losses in the top half. So that's one of those. Was it going to be good? Yeah, the going to be good was. They kind of brought us. They gave us that initial boost in the opening 15 minutes, so that was nice. Not a bother, all Stuart. Absolute pleasure to have you, my guy. Come on the hoops indeed. Love to see it, Malta. I love that country too. That makes me happy on both fronts. Valletta is a beautiful city. That's why I listen to radio on this. I mean, I do feel for you in that sense, to be honest. VPNs and fucking Facebook groups, mate, they're so OP whenever you can't get access to games, if you're inside the UK. But I can't complain about that. Very, very chuffed. And obviously got a game in half an hour to look forward to as well in the Liverpool and Fulham game. I'll just be keeping tabs on that for the sake of it. Obviously with Arsenal fucking it as well, and Man City having their 2 games in hand. They beat Chelsea tomorrow, win their game in hand, and then beat Arsenal. Tell you what, the title race isn't done in either country, which is pretty interesting, to be honest with you. But in goals for and goals against, what is the goal difference between us and Hearts right now? We scored 1 goal more, but we conceded 7, so we're 6 behind on goals against Hearts, and against Rangers 8. So in the split we need to make up for a good amount of goals. So obviously if you beat Rangers and Hearts, you're going to have like a 2-goal swing either way, but it means in one of those games, whether it be against Falkirk, Hibs or Motherwell, we're going to need to go off. That was our last real chance to get some major goals, and we didn't necessarily look too threatening, to be fully fucking honest. But we'll take it overall. Pretty chuffed with that. To be frank with you, I think we could have played a lot worse, but definitely some things we need to work on over the course of the next week or so. But we do have some interesting matches still to play out, I guess. If you want to show you, and you take a little gamble, because we do have to play these boys again. See them right there. We're up at... Okay, well I guess it doesn't want to load that. Fantastic. And now it doesn't want to load anything. Thanks for that, you fuckhead. That's so incredible, man. But, yeah, next league game is there. I suppose I should just do this. And then... There you go. 19th of April. Basically next week. So, yeah, next Sunday. You can join us for that one if you would like to. Semi-finals against St Mirren, obviously that will be at Hampden, so no neutral ground for that one. So we should have all the original mods and you know, some of the home fans that pop in here in the away games back in. I appreciate that, Jimmy, mate. That's very, very kind. Be a team like Celtic, they're very, very optimistic. MK, I'll give you credit for that, bro. But nah, I feel like we just need to pick up some simple 1-2-0 wins, at least try and keep clean sheets, limit the amount of goals against. You know, if we can do that, then who knows, at the end of the season it could be very, very crucial. But Rangers, if they win tomorrow, they'll be in pretty good stead domestically. But again, it's away at Falkirk, it's not an easy game, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens, to be fully honest. Pretty straightforward and standard stuff. I suppose we said you for like 5 minutes or so you could throw in questions or things like that if you would like to before we wrap things up. Otherwise, pretty much everything that needs to be covered has been covered. Pretty good. Gotta redraw the backy stick and see what's happening. Nice to see you, John. What was the final score? I'll pull it up for you then now, big man. Just bear with me I'd like to see it, but yeah, it doesn't show the stats of us. It's because live score just crashed, but there's a full-time score there for you, brother. Celtic managed to come through 1-0. Seems to be the theme. We've won against them 3 times, 1-0 this season domestically, so honestly I'm surprised I didn't just put that down as a prediction. I thought it would have been 2-0. I believe this would have been a clean sheet, so we take it. I haven't shouted, I know. Mainly because my throat is fucked, but I'll try. I might as well, actually, I suppose. I won't get up off of my chair for it, I'll just kind of roll back. Gentlemen, for the victory and for the win, and also for the health and safety of my fucking internal organs in my throat. Yes. Yes! We take it. That's alright. Pretty solid. Pretty fucking solid. We'll take it. For the most part. Could be worse. Pretty decent way to wrap stream up, I suppose. But yeah, 1-0 ended, chief. That's all that needs to be saying. I suppose that should kind of summarise it. Comfortable win for Celtic. Not really too much else to really say. Oxlade-Chamberlain with a goal. Pretty straightforward stuff, yes. I don't like how close it has been, but we'll take it. I'm going to go up against them next week on Sunday. A little earlier of a kick-off this time around. Not bother at all, John. Pleasure to serve you, my guy. Pleasure to serve you. Hopefully next week we kick on, get a win against St Mirren again. If we can get that double header done and dusted, that good. You know, it's good to give us a chance to look forward to a final if things go wrong domestically. But of course, the next major match will be the match after that against Falkirk on the 25th. That will be a major fucking match. We will need to really kick on, do what's necessary, and hopefully for there we do a madness, to be honest with you. I mean, it's definitely open to debate, but there's your run in there. Obviously you can't see the bottom 2 games, but 19th April, 25th, 3rd of May, 10th of May. Some interesting scenarios to play out between now and the end of the season for every club, so hopefully we can just get the job done here. That'd be best case scenario. Not a bother, all kid. Not a bother at all, Chief. It's been a pleasure to have you as always, lad. You take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day, and well, manifest keep like going to FIFA and like play out Celtic versus like sitting there in a cup match and like sim it and give me the score the next time that I'm live. See if it fits with the bill. So aye, Celtic won 18-3. Totally normal scoreline. Let's go. Well, I think that's basically everything that needs to be covered. I suppose I'll probably be on Discord for a little bit afterwards. Maybe not in the VC. I'll probably send some messages out to people that checked in, see how they're doing. Specifically, I think Chateau, probably Megan and Flash. So I need to check in with Flash anyway, man. I need to know if he's alive. He must be pretty nervous with how that game went, but should be happy that we got 3 points. So, I mean, if you're watching this back as a VOD Flash, well done for suffering through that second half, man. It was pretty fucking weird at times. But 3 points, 3 points, we'll take it. Every circumstance worked out that it could have for us today. As long as we didn't lose or drop points, we didn't do either of those. Chuffed. Life is alright. It's somewhat okay. We'll take it. But let me just pull up the Otro in Music. That's not. You're very delayed here. Oh well. Righto. Let's get ready to wrap things up and do all the necessary things. Alright. So, that's that and that and that. Right, we can do this now. So, thank you for watching, thank you for coming along. If you've been here for the whole stream or just a little bit of it, you are appreciated nonetheless. It wasn't pretty, but hey, it gets the job done. 1-0 on the day. And thank you, Oxley Chamberlain, for your finishing ability. We take it. We move on. We've got to play Mirren once more next week. If you want to join us for that, as aforementioned, you are more than welcome to do so. That will be on the 19th of April. Usually about anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes before kick-off, you'll see the notification if you have them on. If not, then just come onto the channel around this time and you'll most likely see me live. If I'm going to miss it, I'll give you a heads up ahead of time. Thank you everyone that subscribed as well. We didn't quite hit our goals or anything like that, but we're not going to complain too much given the calibre of the game. Or 1 off 1860, so definitely nothing worth complaining about. 100%. Hill 3 points, couldn't have put it better myself, my man. But pretty much all we need to do now is hope that we do that basically from now to the end of the season. Even if they're all 1-0 scrappy wins, we'll take them as long as they're all wins. So that's the way I'd kind of like to hope anyway. But you know, football is fucked. For now, I'm gonna go and get some food in my system and take a moment to breathe, I guess. But until then, it's been a pleasure. And you all, as always, you take it easy. As always, Celtic are still the best goddamn team in the world. I love how that's become such a sarcastic thing to say now. But we ball nonetheless. Until then and until next time, hail hail. Have a good one. Take it easy. Enjoy yourselves. Catch yous after. Bye. Thank you, Mark O'Neill. Very cool. I'll take it.